I'm going to be reading from a book of mine called This Alchemy. And it's a book that is divided into several parts, so I'm going to sort of skip around in regard to the types of subjects, and the poems, I think, will take you, I hope, where you want to go, all right? So I'm going to begin with this poem that was a true gift to me. It came from a dream. It's not often that I do write from my dreams, but this one was so stark and beautiful as a dream. I hope I've done justice to it as the poem. It's called Journey. The tree was far, lit from behind on a hill, the branches heavy, leafless, some almost touching the ground, but not quite. The tree haunted the earth, and from where she stood looking up at it, she could feel the tree trolls turning beneath her. Awed, she came every sunset, satisfied to gaze at a distance. And then, one evening, quite suddenly, the tree was mantled in white blossoms. Also, the tree had moved, or the earth had leveled, and she was forced to stand and stare so closely. The blossoms became her sky. Finally, there was no room but the tree's room. The trunk had grown so round, the branches spread like hawks. If she were to remain, she had no other choice but to move inside. And terrified, she did, and amazed herself. At once her body stretched to fire, her face flew off like a dove, and her arms a parenthesis of light. And now her darkness is the tree's darkness, and her passion from the root, and her heart not shared, but owned. A few poems for the artist. The whole section of this book is dedicated to the artist in different guises. This one is called Longing for the Muse. Within my house, a tiny door opens to midnight silence. Still, with all this quiet, she doesn't arrive. The shush of dead leaves, the only sound, the blooming camellias proud, the porch well starched and waiting. It's been too many years for her to be out there roaming the dark. The interview I lost my youth for, the one scratched down on reams of paper, is flying beyond the stars or stuffed somewhere in the garage between rusted canisters. I don't know why she chose me in the first place, so why should I be petulant now she hasn't returned? Oh, but it is such a sumptuous night, if only once more to feel her touch, her breath, her knife. And this one, the gift. This is what the painter saw, and what he wanted more than anything: to light a thing into more than what was seen. That blue stuffed couch, that porcelain vase, they are nothing until they are believed. That woman's face asleep, now it's song. Yet looking at this painting is listening not to music, but what makes music happen. Another section of the book deals with, I might suggest some political realities, although I don't call myself a political poet. To me, any act of individual expression is a political act. But this one came from a specific place after having kind of overwhelmed by the loss, the despair that I know all of us share when we look at the world. So it's called Eternal. The mother is speaking to her infant, bending over her delicate body. The mother is speaking, bending close, whispering among the sirens, the tumults, the cranes. The mother who is bending so near for her child to hear, two tiny ears, two luminescent shells, the mother is whispering into them, her breath tickling the faint hairs of her infant's head. The mother who is speaking in Chinese, Portuguese, is speaking Farsi, is speaking Welsh. The mother sounding the words in Slovak, German, French, the mother faintly uttering to her baby between the rails, the commuter terminals is speaking Japanese, Vietnamese, between the switch hotels, between the aluminum, the chrome, the steel, between the silicon chip and the sound bite, she is speaking softly into the delicate ears of her beloved's head, in Arabic, in patois, in Hindustani, Polish, Italian, Spanish, speaking, murmuring, whispering, holding her child high now, raising her child above the refineries and fists of anguish, the furious skies, the torturer's exacting knife. The mother, a delicate intrusion of power amidst mendacity, greed, and terror, sounding the clicks of the African tongue, bringing the infant back, murmuring ferociously in English, Russian, Swedish, Dutch, Hebrew, Greek, each mother insisting, you are, and except for you, what is holy is gone. But because of you, we'll be returning. The mother is speaking amidst the exhaust and exhaustion, the corruptible coin and the frenzy. The mother, nevertheless, a whisper of fragrance, a shining articulation pouring into the waters of her infant's head. Remember what I am saying. Remember what I am claiming. Nothing can ever destroy you. Nothing can ever deny you. You are. You are. You are. Some years ago, I wrote a group of poems called This Woman in America. Different women speaking, or different poems about women. Here's one. This is for Sylvia. No one forced us, Martin. We fell in love. Although there were reservations on the part of our parents, but we were ready. We were. You told me it would be all or nothing through thick and thin, and I was impressed with your loyalty. Now stop smiling, Martin. I'm serious. I am not getting melodramatic. Lord knows some never find one they can spend 25 years of their lives and not dream of opening them up with forks. I've never had any nightmares about you, Martin. Not that I remember, that is. So it isn't that I'm ungrateful. I've had more than most, I know. It's just that once I had something else in mind. More or maybe less than 2 children and cat hairs between the seams of stretched out summers of barbecues. Not stardom exactly, although I spent the first 2 years like you, lying in wait for the call. No, all I mean is today. I picked up our daughter at school, and I watched the young girls embracing, their clean and clear collarbones in the sun. And I knew I had something else in mind once. And it hurt. And it still hurts.